on a Sunday in plus 30 freaking heat.
All right.
I'm a fat white guy in Canada. I can't stand the heat.
Well, here we go. Let's get those wheels out on the road. It may get dusty, but that's the way she goes. We'll build some greasy old cars and drink our AGD. Hey, don't you know it's partly built?
Alrighty, guys. So today, plunking all this garbage out of here. Getting rid of it. Going LS. No. Feeling 6.1, we gotta do a couple resealing. Gotta get it out so we can fit up the supercharger. And we got our first bit of actual real go fast race car parts. Now, might be in a Luke box, but she, Mcloud unit. We got some red go fast parts now. So,
And you can tell it's Go Fast race parts because it's red.
so that'll be nice. Get this thing slapped in there. Apparently it'll hold about 650. We got a hell of a deal because he just had this clutch and like the pressure plate and disc sitting on his shelf for a couple of years. But allegedly, yeah, it's good for 650. Good deal. So screw it. We're gonna slap it in because it'll be better than Slippy McSlipperson in there right now. So yeah.
Yeah, right now the clutch slips under any load in like 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th.
I can still do burnouts though.
So this time we're actually going to properly break in the clutch.
Nah.
Okay,
Breaking it at the drag strip.
let's get to it.
Okay, so 6.1's out. So now it's time to.
I will say this, that was one of the easiest engine pulls ever.
Oh yeah, also, don't worry, put it all right there. Our clutch buttons are a little, they're kind of hashed and they're blue. They look like nice titanium welding, which I'm pretty sure your clutch shouldn't look like that. So our Mcloud clutch, or a Luke Mcloud.
Luke Mcloud.
The Luke Mccood clutch is gonna go tickety-boo in here. It all lines up because he just said he had it there, try it. Damn well, all the bolts line up, the clutch is the right size, hell yeah. So, anyways, we're gonna rip these lifting plates off and I guess get the aluminum manifold slapped
Well,
on
first
here.
of all, we're going to drain the oil. Actually, yeah, we'll start with the intake because I can do the other stuff while you're working on intake stuff.
Yeah. And we gotta figure out, yeah, this drain plug, the drain plug bolt is a little hashed, so I gotta get a new one. And we gotta reseal this whole damn thing because it leaks like no one else's business.
Oh, and we're going to get the flywheel ground before we put the clutch back in. And then, depending on time, we might clean up that rat's nest of wiring and make it look a little nicer, but I don't know how well you could see it in the footage, but we pulled all the wheels off the truck because we're gonna take the ones off the Galaxy and put them on for the race. So, all right, so it's a new day, a week later, and we're back working in our mess here. Steven's just stripping down the truck intake because we went out to a friend's house and stole the intake off of a 2010, 2011, Steven?
I can't remember, just Eagle 5.7.
An Eagle 5.7, and guess what? It has the correct ports to match the 6.1. Also, we got a bunch of the suspension parts. We got the engine mounts, shocks, sway bar end links, and we went and stole the tires off of Steven's 2004.
Yep.
1/2 ton that he's got, because we're converting the front brakes over to 5 on 5.5, and the rear is already 5 on 5.5, so these rims and tires will fit, and the tires are brand new, and we don't have to worry about trying to get something figured out with that. So as you can see, we started getting our sponsorship decals picked up. So once we get the truck back together here, we're going to wash it, clean it up real good, and we're going to start putting the decals on. But anyway, we'll throw it on a time lapse. I think Steven's going to get this timing set fixed up. Turns out we had to get a new tensioner and idler for that. But Steven's going to get the engine bolted back together. I'm going to get suspension and engine mounts done, and then we're going to get the engine stabbed back in and try and get the intake set on there and figured out. Also, these Eagle 5.7 intakes have the short runner valve set up on them. So we're going to try and wire up the short runner valve solenoid or motor to make that function, because that's good for, I don't know, 15 or 20 rear wheel horsepower. So we're going to see what we can do. Alright, we're just throwing on the lifting plates. Steven got the front end of the engine put back together and all sealed up. I got the shocks, the sway bar end links in. Steven got the motor mounts in. We're going to get it lifted off the stand here, and then we're going to take old Luke Mcloud and throw him on and see if we can't stuff this thing back in.
Oh, also we lied to you before. Can't use a modern intake on this.
Oh, yeah.
Because for some goddamn dumbass reason, Dodge decided to recast these damn blocks where your water jacket boss is here at the front. Because they don't put their temp sensor here, they put it here. Which, now I have to find a plug for that, because we tapped it for the temp sensor. Turns out, this boss hits, wherever the intake is, the lower end of the intake runner, hits into this boss. So Dodge literally recast this goddamn block when they made the Eagle heads for no goddamn reason other than the fact to piss us off.
We could use it, but we'd have to have about a 3/4 inch thick spacer. And at that point, we don't think we have the hood clearance for the straight up throttle body. And we frankly just don't have the time to build a 90 to put the throttle body somewhere else. So that may be something we tackle later. But today is June 27th.
Yeah.
We're on test and tune the day before the race at July 4th. So we have 6 days to put this in and get this running. So here's the deal. An engine that runs that's a little low on power is far better than an engine that doesn't run. So at the very least, we know we have spacers where we can get it to run. We might try making 3/8 spacers, kind of like a tapered spacer, so it flows a little better. But in the meantime, we're going to get this thing back in, and at least then it'll run.
Alrighty.
Okay, Steven, show us the glory of the Luke Mcloud.
So here is our nice new clutch disc, Amoeba something, wherever the number is. A B10,000, don't know what that means. But, yeah, so there's our new clutch disc. Buddy of mine who picked it up, he dropped it. There's a little chunky out of it, but we'll worry about that later. Funny enough, here's our old one. So when we pulled it off, we're like, hey, the surface on the flywheel looks not terrible. You flip it over and you're like, oh, those buttons are screwed. And the pressure plate was discolored and garbage. This looks like I'm welding titanium. So, fair to say it's bonkers.
And it's nothing in comparison to the glorious Luke Mcloud.
Which got its name by being Mcloud pressure plate and like a Mcloud clutch kit in a Luke box, because that's all he had laying around.
So, naturally, it's Captain Luke Mcloud coming in clutch.
Also, if anyone out there actually knows, I don't know enough about clutches. This is a Amoeba B10,000. That disc was Amoeba 10,000, no B. I'm assuming that's probably the difference, because that one was buttons to the pressure plate, this is buttons to the flywheel. Don't know what the difference is. Don't know if it matters. But anyways, this one allegedly is rated to about 650 crank horse, which we ain't making anywhere near, so we're good. Go fast parts are red, aren't they? So, we're good.
These ones are. All right, guys, so it's 4 or 5 days before the race now. Haven't really filmed anything this week. We've just been giving her all we can. Steven's been going into work early and getting off early. So he's been putting in 4 to 6 hours a night for the last 2-3 days. Anyway, so tonight today, Steven tried to switch the brakes over to a 5 on 5.5, but it turned out that the hub pilot on the new rotors wasn't going to work because both sets of rims we have would not fit over the hub pilot. So instead, we left the old brakes on, we just repacked the bearings, and then I took the back tires off the Corvette, stripped the rubber off them and had them put on Steven's front rims so he has good front tires. We've got the engine so starts, runs and everything. We put a new oil pressure sensor in, but the gauge still doesn't want to read. So we may or may not tackle that later. Radiator got damaged, so it's got a leak. So we got a new radiator coming for Friday. Today is Tuesday. Thursday is Canada Day, so nothing coming Thursday. The rest of the engine is pretty much good to go. We tested the clutch, it all works. We're going to run a mechanical temp sensor. We just need the adapter. For some reason we're missing it. And then we're just going to have a mechanical temp gauge in there. We bypassed the heater core for now because the valve we had in line wasn't working. So air was always going through the heater core and it was getting the dash so smoking hot that it was screwing up the multi-gauge. So Steven's going to clean up the wiring a little bit more. He's going to mount the center console. We got the new tack in there. Steven hates it, but it's going to be good enough for the race. We picked up the slicks today, and as you can see, they are massive. They are a 325 50-15 Nitto, and they are big mama jamas. Our street tires are going to be these 17s off like a 09 Dodge. We got brand new Michelins on them. He's got 4 of them, so those will take 2, put them on the back, take 2 as spares. We have 2 spares for the front. I took the spare Hemi off the Hemi stand that we built. We're going to bolt this stand into the box. We're going to pull the engine out of his Firebird and use that. We tried to mount the intake off of an Eagle 5.7, but it didn't want to clear the block, and Steven ran out of time to make spacers. So we figured it runs on this truck this first gen truck manifold. We'll just use it that way. It might be a little low on power, but at least it runs. Yeah, we've been just flogging, getting stuff back together, doing what we can. We're going to add a couple more ground wires in. I know, red for ground, but it's what we have, so it's what we're going to use. Yeah, and we're just last minute stuff, collecting parts. We've got the all the sponsorship decals to go on once the truck gets washed up. We ordered our first batch of stickers. We're pretty excited about that. But yeah. Anyway, guys, I'm going to end this video here. Hopefully have this out a day or two before the race. We'll see how things go.